It means we're right over the target. It means that everything we're saying is true. If we were saying stupid stuff, they would sit around and play what we actually said and mock what we actually said because it was that stupid. They can't do that because nothing we say is stupid. Everything that they say is stupid. So they have to make fake things up that we say in order to mock us.
Right, and that's correct. And Bruce has been a lawyer for 29 years, so the thing about the resume, they don't know any of his cases. They're making presumptions. Before we start, let's play the video, and then you've got a story up on Danesh, the Supreme Court doxer who's already killed someone with his doxing activities. You're suing him.
Turn the music on, Michael. Turn the music on.
All right.
The music's right next.
Wait. All right, Rich, I didn't realize what was happening in that video. You better expect a call from the FBI because that looks like revenge porn.
I think
that is sexually.
Jack might actually like that one. Jack might get a chuckle out of that. That's about the level of Jack, But what the story is about that guy Danesh and the guy who's turned
right
is Dickless Nick Chiappetta, the Chiappet. And so what they do is they are basically extortionists for hire. And what they do is they go and find people that have money, and then they go and race hustle or woke hustle against them. And what they did in this case in Fort Myers to a plastic surgeon and his wife, there was a video from a parking lot, and they basically, he sent his cancel culture mob against a white blonde woman, good looking, driving a G-Wagon, and basically destroyed her life and caused her, now it's taking 3 years of trauma. And what he does now, on top of that, as a typical Darvo abusing narcissist, he turns around and says he's the victim. He said that their attempts to try to take stuff down off the internet and try to defend themselves and speak out were actually attacks against Danesh's kids. You're coming after my kids. Stop going after my kids. So he's a Darvo narcissist. He turns around. He turned this into a $5 million lawsuit. So I think they had a mediation this week. I'm trying to get confirmation from the sources that there was a mediation. I do believe that there was a court document that was filed that said the mediation did not settle. But my sources are telling me that Danesh walked in, and Danesh is actually owned now to his own social media posting, said that he walked in with a $5 million number. And I obtained a document, which I tried to confirm from people, but the legality of it looks correct, that the case is not worth more than maybe $100,000 as a nuisance value case. It's one of these cases that you file, and they'll pay the money to go away. And he's claiming what's called intentional infliction of emotional distress. And as you know, from the big Florida case that this happened was Hulk Hogan and Gawker. Remember that case, the Hulk Hogan Gawker case?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That is intentional infliction of emotional distress. And that case set Florida law and precedent because it has to be so extreme and so outrageous statements that were made that in order to have you recover under it. And the statements that Danesh claims that this couple and their businesses made are that this guy is a swinger, that this guy's a predator, that this guy's this guy's that. Well, he is a swinger. His wife and him made porn videos. They made OnlyFans porn videos with third parties. And we have a whole issue about whether or not he filed the 2257 model releases. And go back up. That's the video right there. That kills any defamation right there. That's Danesh and his wife and a third party. That kills the whole idea about swingers being false. And then the other part about it is, is he a predator? Well, yes, the guy actually is a predator. The dictionary definition of predator is someone who exploits others for personal gain. That's what this guy does for a living. He's done it to the United States Supreme Court justices. He's done it to Aaron Del Toro, who's a football coach in Texas who ended up killing himself. He's been on Dr. Phil defending what he does as a business practice and saying he doesn't feel bad if people kill themselves. The man is a predator. So the case is worthless. And that's what this story is about. He goes and he tells his 2.5 million followers across all social media platforms that, I have this great $5 million case against people, and they buy his line of bullshit, hook, line, and sinker. This is the emperor has no clothes. Dinesh is the emperor that has no clothes, and he's selling a bill of goods to the story. Now, he's entitled to do that under the First Amendment, and people can believe him, but I'm entitled the same way to call him out on his bullshit, and that's what I'm doing.
Calling someone a predator is not actionable because it's too vague. So he would never get anywhere with that anyway.
And if you're a fan of the 80s action movie, calling somebody a predator is actually an ingratiating term. You're like Arnold Schwarzenegger at that point. You're somebody that goes and is an apex killer, right? That's a pretty cool thing in many circles.